Well, hi everyone. Uh, I'm not doing a monologue tonight. I had 11 likes after my last one yesterday, almost immediately. Uh, I'm sorry, 11 views and 5 likes. So I appreciate those who watched it, who liked what I had to say. I can go into a monologue so easy. But the thing is that sometimes you know, I want to hear from you. And maybe it's just that the time that I'm doing the live stream is just not good. So I came on a little later this time. It's 7 in the evening, and thinking maybe, people will, especially those on YouTube, will. I got 83 subscribers. I want to thank you to my new subscribers. I had 2 more subscribers after my last live broadcast. So I want to thank you. Thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. I've got a long way to go. I have the minutes. I'm sitting at right at 4,000, or I'm sorry, 4,000 hours or 200,000 minutes. So I have the minutes. So if I can get my subscribers here to maybe, help me out a little bit, get people to subscribe to my channel. I put, please like, comment, share, and subscribe on my Twitter account, my Instagram account, and my Facebook account. And I tried to do a post to let people know I was going to be going live. But because I don't have 1,000 subscribers, I can't do the post. Just not going to happen. So until I can get 1,000 subscribers, it's kind of like hit and miss. One day I'll do good and I can get all kinds of people to watch, even have good conversation. But most of the time I miss. I'm missing the time, or I'm missing something. I don't know. So to my subscribers, what I would like to hear from you is which of the playlists do you like better? I know in the Filipino subscribers will, of course, like my Filipino friends and family. They do a wonderful deal. It's so funny. I'll show up with my GoPro, or I'll show up with my my camera to do a video, and they go run and hide. And they suddenly become very shy. But if I let them do it themselves, they're very animated. They are eager to do it. So they will do the video themselves. Then they post it to me on Messenger, I usually ask them to keep it about 5 minutes. I think that's about the most that Messenger will allow to be sent. And so I do it that way. And that way they, I give them all the credit, because they're the ones that are actually doing that video. I've asked some of the others. I've asked Pastor Coma's daughter, Melo Cordero, to do some family deals with Pastor Coma, her mom, her sisters, things like that. And she's shy. She posted, she did allow me to use a video of her mom's birthday when she turned 60, which was just maybe about a month or two ago. So congratulations, Mama Jeline, on your 60th birthday. And guys, now I mentioned yesterday that Mama Jeline is in the hospital, and Pastor Coma spends most of his time with her. I'm not going to tell you what the problem is, but I can tell you that it's not coronavirus. But the bills are mounting and mounting and mounting and mounting. And if you can see it within your heart to help my Pastor Coma, to help pay the bills, I can only do so much. So if you can see it within your heart to help out with the bills, you can use MoneyGram, and it's Reuben, R-E-U-B-A-N, Coma, C-O-M-A. You can send it to him. It is the same as on Facebook, Reuben Coma. He has a couple of accounts. What you can do is go to either one of them, send a message to him that you have sent some money, how much you've sent, and you remember you got to make sure it's in Philippine peso for him to receive. Tell him how much you sent and the reference number. Without the reference number, he won't be able to get it. And what you do is you send him a message on Messenger and tell him how much you're sending and how much he's going to receive in Philippine peso and the reference number. And be sure to tell him this is to help pay the hospital bills. They're mounting. She's been in the hospital for a while now. And she's still a young lady at 60. I'm 60 years old, so, to me, that's a young lady. And so what I ask is that you help him out. I'm doing the best I can to do the same thing. So she should be okay, and she should be coming out soon. But she's a sweet and loving lady, and just, they just had their 31st anniversary, and she was in the hospital. So this is my appeal to you. Don't send it to me. First of all, I I don't have a Patreon account, or I don't have a PayPal, and I don't want you to send it to me. Send it directly to him. Let's see. As far as everything I know, everything is going well. Family is doing fine. And speaking of family, I'm going to be uploading a video of my son's birthday back in 1988, I think it was. So he was like 4 or 5 years old at the time. But I'm going to be uploading that. It was done in San Antonio, Texas. At a place called Chuck E. Cheese's. And so I'm going to be uploading that relatively soon. I'm still working on my Nimrod. As far as ancient sources for Nimrod outside of the Bible, I'm almost finished with that part of it, and I've got I've copied, screenshotted, and copied the articles so I can go back and forth to them. I'm now looking for photos, and as soon as I can, either I'm going to have to get me a new laptop, because I only have very limited space on the one I've got, because I got so much on here. Either I'm going to have to give me a new laptop, or have a new hard drive put into this one, the one I've got, a much bigger hard drive. I don't want to lose or transfer out of my laptop what I have in here, because a lot of it cross-references each other. I use my laptop for a lot of research and study, so I don't want to lose these things. I tried to put some on CD, because I have a CD rewriter on the laptop. See, the new laptops, they don't have CD. They don't have a CD-ROM or a CD rewriter. I don't know why they do that. You know, they're saying we'll just pull it off the cloud. Well, I don't trust the cloud. And here's the reason why. Because there's no safety measures in the cloud. You got all kinds of people who upload to the cloud. You know, millions upon millions upon millions upload onto the cloud. And then you have the few, the minority, who control the cloud. The cloud is basically a super database. It's located somewhere, I think, is in the United States. And it's like a super database that can hold quadrillion bits of information. And it's supposed to be, as it was put out, that if for some reason your laptop crashes, or your computer crashes, or your tablet crashes, you know, you can go back into the cloud and pull this back, you know, after you get your laptop or computer fixed or get a new one. The problem is, you have a few that control this, so that means they control all the information that everybody has. And to say that the government doesn't have their hand in it, I would be lying to you to say that they don't. I'm sure they do. And I'm sure every government, high level areas in government, they've got their hands in the cloud. They've got their information on everybody, what they put up. So all your naked photos that you put on there, guess what? Somebody's looking at them. It is not hacker proof. So a hacker could get in there and start just downloading all kinds of stuff that he finds. So it's not hacker proof. That's why I like CDs. You can store you can store your information on CDs, and then and that way you can hold that information yourself. It doesn't have to go on the cloud. But I'm out of space on my hard drive. I'm running out of space. So, I'm going to have to do something. I'm also looking for some theme music for the Nimrod videos. And I need to download, there's an app I want to download that allows me to do green screen. So that means I can put, for example, I can put a green sheet behind me, and on the computer or the laptop, I'll be able to take out the green and put in a photo, right behind me. And you'll see me and you'll see the photo at the same time. And I'll be movable and stuff like that, talking, and the photo would still be there. So I want to get that app. Right now I just don't have the space on my laptop to do that. But we'll see. God is able to provide. There's still constant work going on my GOG video. There's so much that's going on, especially right now in the geopolitical things of the world. It's not just in the United States. It's just not the only one people protesting. Everywhere people are protesting. In all the major cities. And it goes right along with what Jesus said when there would be wars, rumors of wars, nations attacking nations. That the nations would be in perplexity. That means in confusion. So what's going on in the nations is confusion. Now, God is not an author of confusion. Confusion comes when people no longer or refuse to accept truth. That's where confusion comes from. And truth is truth. 1 + 1 = 2. That's a truth. And it has been a truth since since there was man, and man learned and understood mathematics. And as you want to go as far back as 5,500 years ago, when the ancient Sumerians were building high-rise towers. They were planning cities, so that means that they had the mathematical knowledge of materials and of materials. They understood the materials, what the materials can do. They understood how much weight they can hold, how much, they understood the mathematics of it. Because in order to plan to build a city, to build a building, to build a tower, you have to understand the mathematics. There is mathematics. And the ancient Sumerians, the Bible calls it the land of Shinar, the ancient Sumerians understood all this. And they had a system of mathematics called base 6 math, where 6 equals 0, or 6, or 60, and the mathematics that they used rivals our modern day physics today in mechanical engineering physics, where you have to know materials, and you have to know structure, and you have to know the strengths of these materials. I mean, this stuff that the mathematics that they had then was just as good as what we use today in our base 10 system. So, the idea that the ancient world were technologically inferior is ludicrous, especially the world before the flood. Now, these people were a lot smarter than we are. You're talking, the flood happened about 1,700 years after the creation of Adam, or about 1,750 years after the creation of Adam, or when Adam had Seth. So Adam was 130 years, I believe, when Seth was born. And Cain and Abel, his first two sons, were born before that. And we don't really know how old they were when Cain killed Abel. They could be about 30 years old. We don't know. It's always shown in the stories as Cain being a young man of about 15 and Abel being about 12. But those are the pictures that they show. But in reality, they were probably around 30 years old. And so it's ongoing. There's a lot going on geopolitically. There's a lot going on geo-religiously. And there's a lot going on in the geo-social structure of the world. I was told, got an email, I was told that there's a coin shortage in the United States. A coin shortage. Now, I know they have not run out of nickel and tin and copper and things like that. I know they have not run out of that. They're just refusing to print, to mint more coins. And I'm trying to figure out why they are doing that. The only thing I'm thinking that they're doing is because they're hoarding back the money. In other words, the money goes back to the mint after it's a certain, age. That goes back to the mint, gets remelted down, and gets. So I don't know why they're holding that back. That makes no sense. Because that's a disruption in the finances of people. Well, you think, well, this penny, actually in the United States it's not called a penny. Penny is actually an English term for pence. We call it cents, 1 cent. It's a 1 cent piece. I don't know why, and yes, I got some American money here. I don't know why the United States mints are not producing, unless they're being told not to for some reason. But that's what I've been told, is that there's a shortage of coins in the United States. Probably they're going to be pulling back the dollar bills too, and I'm talking the ones, the fives, the tens, the 20s, the hundreds. Anything larger than that, $500 bill, $1,000 bill, and so on, is mainly used for banking practices only. So that's really not going to come down to the average everyday person. But they're probably going to be pulling back the dollar bills, which, because they've from what I hear, there's another stimulus check going out to everybody in the United States. $1 trillion. I guarantee you that the United States federal government does not have $1 trillion in gold or silver or the combination thereof, or precious stones and gems, or a combination thereof with gold and silver, to equal $1 trillion. I guarantee you that. I don't know how far deep Fort Knox goes. In fact, there's a lot of speculation that there's no gold in Fort Knox, that it's been transferred out. So whoever has that gold is making the rules. That's the golden rule of those who want power. He who has the gold makes the rules. I don't see how the federal government can sustain itself with that kind of nonsense. They need to put and control their cities. You know, you have people there that are rape, pillaging, and plundering. They're vandalizing and destroying. They're shooting and killing people. They're they have no regard for a person or persons or their property. They have no regard for authority. They have no regard for police forces or military forces. All they want to do is destroy. Well, who's the father of destroying? The devil. He comes to kill, to steal, and to destroy. And the people that do those things are his children. You do what your father does. These are the devil's children. Now, they don't think they are. They think they're just doing, you know, whatever the reason they're doing it, for whatever cause they think it's for. It's not a cause. It's a cause for destruction. And you're not going to unseat a president by doing that. All you're doing is you're going to establish the resolve of the government. You're going to establish the resolve of patriotic Americans that you need to go. And we are going to get fed up enough to push you out. We will push you into the sea. And I'm not talking violence here. I don't like violence. I was a soldier, and being a soldier, I had to be as violent to the enemy. But those days are over, and I've turned my sword into a plow, and I've turned my spears into a pruning hook, and I study war no more. But not all Americans think like I do. And they're going to start forming armed militias. In fact, they already started. And it's going to be a bloodbath, because these people that are doing this are communists. These are communist sympathizers. And there's going to be a war between communist sympathizers, who are probably getting their funding from China. I have no doubt that they are. I have no doubt that they are. They're getting their funding from China. They're probably getting their tactics to use, their TTP, tactics, techniques, and procedures. They're probably getting all that from China. You got to remember, China is a communist country. And this went on in China during World War II and just after the war in 1947, when the communists took over. It's the most dreaded disease there was in the face of this earth. It was Karl Marx and Engels writing that book, The Communist Manifesto. It created a disease. And this disease kills millions upon millions of people. Under communist rule in every country that went from either a monarchy or a republic, and they fell into communism or socialism, the estimated death rate probably sits right around 500 million people. Over 65 million people under Mao Zedong in China. How can you answer for the destruction of 65 million people? What justification can you give for 65 million people? Unbelievable. But so I'm doing the I'm doing the Gog-Magog war also, and then that's ongoing. I started doing that like 3 years ago. I even put out a trailer for it because I thought it would be done by, I think that was in May 3 years ago, thinking I'd be done by the end of the summer and have it ready to put out. No. That's ongoing. But the Nimrod thing should be being able to end pretty quickly. I could probably start doing the video, actually work the script, do the video. I got to draw out the storyboard. I've got to do all that, just a preparation for it. That'd probably take about a month if I can do it undisturbed. I could probably get it done in about 3 weeks. But Lord knows you just can't. You know, it's just impossible to do that because there's so much else going on that requires my attention, and it's just impossible for me to stay focused onto one thing because there's so much else going on. Let's see. That's about it. I really don't want to continue talking. You know, I was kind of hoping people would show up. They'd see that I'm on live. If you're on YouTube, when you go to where your subscribers are, it'll show in a red dot that you are live. But really, you know what? I don't get a lot of people watching live. But I can go back and look at my watch history on my other live ones, and on my other live ones, in fact, my 5 top videos that people are watching are my live videos. Even more so than family and friends, Filipino family and friends, Bible study or sermons across the world. my my preaching in the Philippines, Mars and other anomalies that I've got. It's the live videos seem to be more in tune to what people are watching. So I want to thank all of you who have been watching and have got me up to the 4,000 hours. It's really appreciated. And I love you for it. What I need people to do now is to come in and subscribe. It can be done. I've had this channel since 2013, and I'm not complaining because every channel is different. But I watch some that can reach 1,000 subscribers in just a matter of a couple of months, and here I am. I'm at 83, but I am thankful because 6 months ago, well, I'll put it to you this way. Last year at this time, I only had 36. And I've gone up more than double that. So, I'm really thankful for what I do have. So I'm not complaining about it. But as things are going, it's a slow progression like a turtle, and not like the rabbit, in the race with the turtle and the hare. The rabbit takes off, boom, he's gone. And the turtle just plods along. Plods along, plods along, plods along. Turtle eventually wins in the story because the rabbit decided he was so far ahead, he's going to lay down and take a nap. And he did. And when he woke up, the turtle was crossing the finish line. So he beat the rabbit. So anyways, there's a couple of things I would like to get other than a new laptop. I want to get an external microphone, kind of more along a more professional microphone. This way I can get better sound quality. I've priced them. They're not, I can get one from Amazon pretty good price. I did upload a new video also this evening. It's a cooking video on how to cook a Mexican breakfast or a Mexicano breakfast. Being that I am originally from South Texas, or Central Texas, or South Central Texas, I should say, more correct. This is the kind of food I grew up with. And anytime that I can eat some good Mexican style, Jalisco style cooking, I enjoy it. I enjoy it. I did forget in the video though to put picante sauce. Picante sauce is a tomatoes based sauce, which has got tomato chunks. It's got jalapeno, onion, bell peppers. It's got garlic in it, but it's a sauce, and you put it over the eggs and over your beans, your potatoes. You put it over that. I want to make jalapeno ranch sauce, and that is really, really good. I need to find the recipe for that, or salsa verde, which is green sauce, which is basically a jalapeno sauce. That's a little more spicy than the picante. It's funny because, you know, a lot of the spices that's used in Mexican style cooking is going to be chili powder, paprika, cilantro, salt and pepper. But just watch the video. It's went longer than I wanted it to. It's because I was doing one of the items at a time to show you how to do it. Normally when I do my cooking, I've got 2 or 3 burners going. And one thing is doing here, other things are doing there. And I can get the meal done rather quickly. I'm not separating out all the ingredients for, you know, everybody to, you know, to show and stuff like that. I'm just grabbing and going, you know, and it gets done fairly quickly, 10 or 15 minutes. But this one, it was designed to show you what to do with each of the ingredients. So the video is a little longer than I anticipated. But anyways, I want to thank everyone, all my subscribers. I want to thank all of those who have helped me along. Rodalie, Apasaga, Cat's 21 Adventures. Those two in of themselves have done more for me and my channel. If it wasn't for Rodalie, I would not be doing live broadcast. She told me about the apps, which ones to get. Cat and Cat's 21 Adventures introduced me to other YouTubers who, you know, it's a group on Facebook that you go to, you talk to, you subscribe to their channels, they subscribe to yours, blah, blah, blah. But I really want to thank them. Watch their channels, Rodalie Apasaga, RHODALY, Rodalie Apasaga, APOSAGA. Go to her channel. Man, she's zoomed in. I mean, just within a couple of months, bam, she had 1,000 subscribers and was rocking. And Cat's 21 Adventures. She's a teacher. She's an English teacher. She taught English in China. She's Filipina. She taught English in China. She's now back in Manila. She's got things to do there, but she still teaches. She teaches by the internet, and she puts on, you know, some of her videos are her teaching, you know, with some of the Chinese kids that are learning from her, and she gets paid for that. And she just got her 1,000 subscribers and or 4,000 hours. So she just became monetized, and I'm happy for her, because let me tell you something, every little bit helps. There's another one, Merson Sweetie, MERS, the letter N, and then Sweetie, SWEETY. Go and check her out. She only got maybe about 5 or 10 subscribers. go check her out and look at what she's got. So God bless you, and love God, the truth, and love the truth, regardless of whether you like it or not. You know, you can't throw away a truth just because you don't like what it says. So, love truth. Don't sit there and just believe something that somebody says because it's emotionally impacting. Look at history. You know, research. Find out the real facts. Not just something that somebody tells you. You have to do your own research. It is tedious. It is boring at times. But if you know the truth will set you free. Whether it's in the political world, whether it's in social economics, you know, whatever. It's going to set you free from the nonsense that's going on throughout this world today. It really is. It will set you free. And it won't bind you. It'll be like chains coming off. Jesus Christ being the truth. You start with him. And study him. You know, people say, well, yeah, you know, Jesus. And they have no idea who Jesus is. They have no idea what he said. But they hear from somebody else who doesn't know, so then they believe that person, and that person never knew to begin with, and the person that he heard it from never knew Jesus Christ either. They don't know who he is, what he is, how he is. They don't know anything about him except what they think they know. This. You know what? It's all right here. Start with the book of Matthew. Read the book of Matthew. Read the book of Mark. Read the book of John. And then read the book of Acts. And you will find out who Jesus is. Not only will you find out who he is, you're going to find out what he actually said and not what somebody else said he said. So love the truth. You love the truth, because you don't love the truth, you're just going to believe a lie. And I don't want people believing lies. All those people that are rioting in the streets throughout the world, they're doing it because they believed a lie. And that lie is called communism. That lie is called socialism. It has never worked in the 100 years that it's been around. It has never worked. Every country that has tried socialism, every country that has tried communism has failed miserably. And let me tell you something. China is about to crumble. They are about to crumble from within. And not because of rioting and stuff like that. They can't support. The reason the Soviet Union fell was because it fell under its own weight of socialism. Socialism is a heavy, heavy, heavy weight and burden. And when the money from the people are gone, you still got to be able to pay your soldiers and blah blah. You got to pay all those people up in the government, the ones that are getting the good stuff. I want to tell you something. In socialism, everybody is poor. Everybody is poor, except for the government. The people in the government. They're rich. They eat the best food. They get to do whatever they want, go wherever they want, and stuff like that. The average person is poor. They have to have papers to be able to go places. If you don't have your paper, you can't go. It's in the Philippines. You can't go anywhere unless you have a barangay pass that says you can go out of the barangay. You can't go from one city to another city unless you have a pass that says you can. And then that's what it's come to. Why in the world would a free people need to have a pass to go from one place to another? Socialism. They're introducing socialism on a worldwide basis. That's what they're doing. They're introducing a world communist socialist across the world. And if free people don't stand up and fight against it, then you will have lost everything you have worked for. You will no longer own property, so that the house that you have has been passed down, that land has been passed down from generation to generation. Guess what? That land will not be yours anymore. It will belong to the state. That rice field that you planted and cornfields that you planted, all those many generations will no longer be yours. They'll belong to the government. And you, who are the farmer, you will only be working for pennies, for just a few cents, to farm for the government. It's not the people that's going to get that food. It's the government, the people in the government, the ones who live nicely in big palaces and everything like that. Stand up and be free. Live free. Die a free person, so that your children will live free. If you want safety more than freedom and liberty, you don't deserve safety and you don't deserve liberty. Because if you're willing to give up your liberty for safety, you lose everything. It's the famous American John Paul Jones, I believe that's who it was, said, "Give me liberty," or Nathan Hale, "Give me liberty or give me death." Americans fought hard 200 and some odd years ago to win their liberty from the Crown of England, because England was taxing them to death. They won their liberty. And those who fought for that liberty, I pray they did not die in vain for Americans' sake. And that's for any country's sake. You want to be free? Fight for it. I tell you what, if the Chinese people had enough, if they really, really had enough, they can take out the Communist Party easily and quickly. Because you only have, at the max, 200 million Chinese soldiers. You have over a billion Chinese people. They can take back their own country and make it a place for free people. There's only a few that hold power. The armies are basically only about 1% of the entire population. Hold on to your freedoms. Fight for it. Fight for it. And don't let someone take it away from you. And don't let the government take it away from you. Don't bow down. Don't bow down. But do it peacefully. You can do it peacefully. India won its independence from Britain peacefully. Mahatma Gandhi was a master at that. The silent protests, where people just did everything silently. They didn't do violence. It could be done peacefully. Let the other person be violent. Let them be violent. They're only damaging their own soul anyways. The more violence that they do, the more damage they do to themselves. We can do it peacefully. And the majority of the people, let's say the United States, stand and look at this, what's going on in Seattle and Portland, and they're going, really? And they don't know what to do. Well, I'm telling you what to do. Put an end to it as a people. Demand that your leaders put an end to it. If they refuse, there's an election coming up. If they are siding with those that are protesting and committing violence and sabotage and what do you call it? Vandalism, where they're killing, raping, hurting people, and their politicians are siding with them. If your news outlets are siding with them, it's time to make a change. Change your politicians to those that are more in line with the Constitution. The American Democratic Party is no longer a Democratic Party. They're the Communist Socialist Party of America. And they've aligned themselves that way. They've done it on purpose. If Hillary Clinton would have won, America would have fallen into a communist socialist government within a matter of months. Anyway, my picture stopped. Don't know what's going on. So I'm going to end this now. Thank you very much, my subscribers. I love you. Thank you for being there for me. Keep watching. Things are good here. It's still locked down, kind of like Manila. So there's really not much I could do here. Angeles City seems to be opening up pretty good. Other places seem to be opening up pretty good. But I think Batangas area, Manila, Cebu, I think, and Tuguegarao are all still in pretty good lockdown. So I will talk to you later. And maybe tomorrow, I'll do this again tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow, I'll have somebody to chat with. In Jesus' name, love and care for each other. Love and care for each other. And thank God always.